This is your sister, your wife, your daughter, but this is you. And this is their reaction when you are killed.
So a lot of people browsing the internet was able to see a political assassination in 720p just scrolling their phones. And for a lot of people who browse Twitter daily, that was probably the second killing that they saw in HD that week. Of course, I am referring to Irina Zarutsky and Charlie Kirk. The fact that out of all conservative commentators, Charlie Kirk was the first one to die is absolutely insane to me. I'm still processing it now. He was easily the most mild-mannered guy out of that entire clique. But no, somebody who had transgender boyfriends, we're just now discovering it's multiple partners now. It was a bit of a throuple, an LGBTQ throuple. But for the crime of being conservative, white, and Christian, Charlie Kirk is no longer with us. And around half of the country is celebrating his death in broad daylight. They are not hiding behind burners. They do not have pseudonyms. They are posting all of these threats against white America on their main accounts with their full names attached, linking to their LinkedIn where you can see where they work. In addition to this ghoulish celebration of Charlie Kirk's death, other leftists are being more tactical when it comes to dealing with this, such as distracting from his death to talk about Palestinians, of course, because they cannot go a single waking moment without talking about Palestine. Or they may bring up the Minnesota State House reps who were assassinated in their own homes. They weren't quite caught on video, but the person who did assassinate them was appointed by the governor, Tim Walz, who is a Democrat. There's also very weak attempts to wishcast Tyler Robinson as a groyper. The proof that they have is absolutely non-existent, so they make it up in thin air, because somehow Bella Ciao, an anti-fascist song that is used by Hassan Piker, is apparently associated with groypers. Who knew? But of course, there are many sensible people who disagree with Charlie Kirk on many things, who are still willing to call out people who are celebrating this and understand just how horrible it is to call for the assassination of anybody. One of these people I'll be talking about today is Moist Critical, who ironically is also called Charlie. So we'll just be calling him Moist Critical for this video, as to not confuse him with Charlie Kirk, who is also a subject. Because for as cold of takes that both Charlies give throughout their entire careers, this one, for some reason, is really getting the Reddit army angry at him. Let's take a look. So this was the clip in particular that was so controversial. I guess it was his spiciest take, which this was end up posted on Twitter, but this is roughly 9 minutes into his video out of like 11 minutes or so, 10 minutes. So this is towards the very end. So let's see.
I think the assassination of Charlie Kirk, everything that happened here is fucking horrible. I think it is horrific, awful. I think it is terrible. And I'm aware that some people have been celebrating this. I find that to be fucking disgusting. I think the
Wow, what a hot take, guys. Murder is bad. Who would have thought? Another tweet is actually going over some of the comments section. And of course, since it's a Moist Critical video, I'm not going to be able to get to all the comments section, but I do have a few of these right here. But let's go through some of the highlights that this Zelda Zealot account looked up. So here's an example. We're done debating with these people. At Zayed, bro, refusing to give full context for who Charlie Kirk actually was when his death is currently being weaponized by the right is at best grossly negligent. You can acknowledge that this kind of political violence is horrifying while also recognizing that Charlie Kirk was a monster, and the people who and that people aren't wrong for lacking empathy for him. It feels very odd to morally grandstand over this when Kirk was constantly advocating for violence against others based on their identity, which I don't think there has ever been a point where Charlie Kirk was advocating for violence, especially violence based on identity. Like, that's just full on made up. And this is what that person looks like. Yeah, see, there is this one quote that like communism is just ugly people taking revenge against the normal people. They really aren't beating the allegations here. Bro will make a video about Charlie Kirk, but not about how people are dying in Gaza every day. The Bella Ciao song is also on a popular Groyper playlist, and I think I heard it may also be on reference to a game mod or Hearts of Iron or something. I mean, we did find that transgender lover Steam page, and that transgender lover really liked Dead by Daylight and I believe Hollow Knight Silk Song. Horrible taste in video games. Yeah, Charlie's lost me. While it may be unfortunate Kirk was assassinated, he was spreading hate himself because basically until his last breath. I can't feel too much sympathy for a guy like that besides for his family. I usually agree with Charlie's takes, but I hate when creators can't stand for something and instead sit on the fence. There's bigger things to talk about than a goober like Charlie Kirk, like the Epstein files or the school shooting that literally happened the same day, which I'm pretty sure Charlie is making slop videos about the quote unquote Epstein files. So literally cannot post anything about making about either Palestine or Epstein. That's literally all these people have. They can't disavow it and like they have to also in the same breath talk about something else. This is how they speak. They cannot disavow political assassination. Let's see what he has to say in the video. How egregious could it be?
Up arrow, right arrow, and then down arrow 3 times, which
talking about the bullet
quick
casings.
to pick up on as a Helldivers reference. Another one said, "Oh, Bella Ciao, Bella Ciao, Bella Ciao," which is apparently a reference to an Italian anti-fascist song. And then finally, another one said, "If you read this, you are gay, LMAO." I think these engravings paint a pretty clear picture of a fucking cringe loser. This is a lunatic. This is a maniac. But according to those close to him, he wasn't like politically active or anything until recently, which I think sounds right. Politics has become turbocharged over just the last handful of years.
He got groomed by either college, Reddit, Discord, or any of these like other Antifa militias.
To the point where people can go from like not really being involved or only dipping their toes in to being just full-blown fucking radicalized and just, you know, off their rocker, off their fucking gourd in politics. Like it is, everything is just accelerating at such a scary, alarming rate. Something else worth mentioning here, the authorities were claiming that Tyler was communicating via Discord about this. However, Discord is coming out and saying that it found no evidence that the suspect planned the shooting on its platform or promoted violence. It was apparently reported by Utah Governor Spencer Cox that the shooter's roommate showed investigators Discord conversations with someone listed as Tyler, stating a need to retrieve a rifle from a drop point, leaving the rifle in a bush, watching the area where the rifle was left, and having left it wrapped up in a towel. The Discord saying they can't find those messages that were referenced in that reporting. So
yeah, Discord's completely covering their ass for that. Let's be real. Discord is 100% covering themselves, which the FBI should probably go investigate them. Just in general. No, like not even just related to this shooting, but like Discord, we can't trust Discord.
That one is still a little shaky as of me making this video, but I thought it was worth mentioning here. Now, already outside of the obvious major conversation that's been being had here about political violence, there is now like another separate conversation that's starting to break through because of the engravings on the ammo casing, because Helldivers was referenced. So now a lot of people are pointing the finger at video games, which is something that has historically happened in the past with people immediately trying to scapegoat video games as like the catalyst for a tragedy.
Dude, I hate how I actually been playing Helldivers recently. I do hate how he did that. Ruining Helldivers for me. Dude, like literally just last night, my friends and I were playing Helldivers, and when my one friend was like saying, "Hey, fascist, catch," I was like, oh no.
This is a path that's been walked hundreds of times before, and I'm sure it'll be walked hundreds of times again. Do I think Helldivers had any role to play in this monster carrying out this assassination on Charlie Kirk? No, I don't. I don't think video games are ever really to blame. Anyway, as of now, there's been a lot of misinformation flooding around with like different Tyler Robinsons and also like people making claims about whether he's a Democrat or a Republican.
Oh, dude, he's gonna piss off Reddit with this one.
Obviously a big subject here considering the motive being political. Now, with all the available information about what they found as well as like where he's potentially been.
See, here's the thing, right? A bunch of the people claiming that the shooter was a groiper, they've never knew what groiper meant until like 10 minutes before they first posted it. Like I remember there was this one #ResistLib account that was like, you know, been active since 2013. Never said groiper once on the account until this incident, which I remember YouTube just recently after the shooting recommended me a 6-year-old compilation of like the Groyper War versus Charlie Kirk, which why would YouTube recommend that to me now? Right? Are they trying to like subtly use the algorithm to influence opinion? Right?
To me, it seems like he's more left-leaning than right, but nothing is 100% confirmed, and there's so much information it's hard to know for sure. A lot of people are saying
he almost got off the fence for that one.
Since he grew up in a Republican household and there's so many photos of him at a young age around guns, he must be a Republican. But that's not always the case. Kids don't always grow up to be just carbon copies, clones of their parents and their beliefs. Like, yes, they're more inclined to follow those beliefs, but it's not always how it works out. And according to people closest to him, he got much more political over the last couple of years, so anything could have changed. There's no telling for sure. But this definitely does seem to be a politically motivated assassination, which, if you ask me, is a horrible thing. And my heart breaks for the family that is now without a father. I think it is bad. I know.
Yeah, I did see a comment. If when we scroll down, we'll see it that that actively is praising how like that person is glad that the family doesn't have a father anymore.
Classic Charles with a grass is green take. But I also want to mention something that a lot of people kept saying. I'm sure you've seen it in the comment section or on streams or elsewhere, about how I'm dodging this topic and refusing to speak on it. And people would even go as far as to say that I am endorsing political violence by not making a video on it, which I find to just be...
And so now this is the part where he makes it about himself. This I shit you not, that like these last few minutes, he's just making it about himself. He literally just like, hey, like just watch this.
Unhinged. I find that to be so fucking twisted, especially considering it's not like I've been shy on this subject. Since it happened, I have covered it extensively during streams. I've been mainly gaming because I've been in such a fucking huge gaming arc in my life right now, but I have still talked about it a lot. And I said from day one, I planned on making a video once the shooter was caught, because I was very confident the shooter would be apprehended pretty quickly. Like, they had a substantial amount of footage showing him on the roof, jumping off the roof, even wandering through the neighborhoods. They even had pretty clear photos that they released to the public that showed a lot of this guy's face. So I was pretty certain that they were going to either catch him pretty quickly, track him down and get them themselves, or what ended up happening, someone would recognize him and turn him in. So I wanted to wait for that to happen so that way I can make a video covering the entire situation here, because I find it to be such a...
Dude, God bless that dad who turned in his own son after finding out. Which, by the way, we did, like, there is a, let me just put this in real quick. Just in, Charlie Kirk assassin posted confession on Discord after the murder per WAPO. Yeah, so yeah, he absolutely had Discord messages. Hey guys, this person said, hey guys, I have bad news for all of you. It was me at UVU, which I'm assuming is like Utah something university. I'm sorry for all of this. Thanks for all the good times and laughs.
Did assassin.
Okay, probably don't want to play a Fox News clip. Is there like screenshots? Estimation, man, Fox News doesn't know anything. They can't even put Discord screenshots. But I'm assuming if it's said that by these bozos right here, then it's probably, probably true, I would imagine. They finally were able to crack Discord.
A big deal. But since I was mainly talking about it on streams instead of in a video, which, by the way, if I did do like a video when it happened, a follow-up video, and then this video, people would accuse me of milking a tragedy. So it's kind of like damned if you do, damned if you don't. But because I was talking about it on streams, people accused me of trying to hide it there. Basically saying that doesn't count. It only matters if you make a video on it.
That's true, though.
Let me be crystal clear here. I think the assassination of Charlie...
And this is where he gets to that first point. So, let's see. How can people, counteract this? How are people gonna go about Charlie's take it? What's the like to dislike? I mean, I feel like that's that's pretty good, but I feel like that is lesser than normal for Charlie. I mean, most critical. But let's see. Finally, Charlie talking about Charlie. Let's see if a news agency is allowed to copy. So a lot about the copyright claim. Oh, okay, but mind you, right? The one talking about the copyright stuff, right? 33K likes, 18K likes. The dude literally advocated for what happened to him. It's like spending your whole life telling people how to throw rocks at each other and being surprised when one hits them. I don't know why everyone is so shocked. 1.6K likes, and then the top comment here is 3, which mind you have to click. You have to click on the replies to even see this. Me, when I lie, make things up in my head. So, and also this person continues, you get your information from TikTok clips. You never even watch anything in context, you nor have the ability to critically think. Yeah, which that's true. Like a lot of people, they hate Charlie Kirk based on things that like are made up about him, that they project something onto him. That's why they hate him. That's why it's justified. It's like, no, there's no way. Yeah, so the most liked comments are kind of benign or whatever. Like they're not making any moral declarations about Charlie Kirk whatsoever. And let's see. Someone needs to yell at news corporations that they don't own the rights to video footage. Yeah, see, I see a lot of anti-elitist or corporation, anti-news media stuff like that. Yeah, news footage copyrighted. I will not celebrate this man's death, but I will definitely not mourn for him. Yeah, like, trying to have it both ways. Irina stabbing, Charlie Kirk assassination, Indian man beheaded in front of wife and son in Dallas. When did what? I did not hear about that. I guess so annoyed when people harass and break creators for not covering certain topics. Yes, important to have an opinion, talk about serious topics, but no one is obligated. I mean, when you're moist critical and you make daily content just talking about stuff, yeah, I feel like if this was neglected, then that'd be pretty damning. Like if it is your job to talk about stuff and you're going out of your way to not talk about something, then yeah. Charlie, yeah, Helldivers devs randomly waking up to be a reference to Charlie Kirk assassination. Let's see. Yeah, having a family doesn't mean you're a good person. Yeah, let's see. Cope. Being a bad person doesn't mean you deserve to get shot. Yeah, nobody said empathy was awoke and you shouldn't feel empathy for those who die getting shot. So yeah, that's completely just like out of context, just not even. Like these people they've never seen a full video of Charlie Kirk that he posted. They're just watching out of context clips or not even like videos. They're just like, oh, I saw a quote of him, therefore I believe it. I went to college at UVU and used to take my lunch breaks like 15 feet away from where he got shot. It's surreal seeing my old lunch spot on international news. That is crazy. I hate the political assassination and becoming normal in America. I also hate that no one ever talks about Melissa Hortman's assassination a few months ago. Because like, see, these people only care to talk about it to like undermine Charlie Kirk's assassination. Feels like this one got all the attention while her story gets left untold. It's sad what's happening, but the hypocrisy the media had in coverage of these cases also. It's almost like Charlie Kirk is infinitely more relevant. And also, one of the Democrats that was killed like voted against health care for illegal immigrants, which was like that was like the only one of two Democrats to vote against that. And also, the shooter being from being appointed by Tim Walz himself. Yeah, let's see. 6 feet. My heart breaks for the family that is now without a father. This is probably my first comment on this channel, and I've always been a big supporter of your content. But he said if his 10-year-old daughter gets R-worded, he would want her to carry it out. So thank God this family is without a father. Yeah. So by the way, I don't think Charlie Kirk would allow his 10-year-old daughter to be victimized that way. Like at the event, right? I'm pretty sure his daughter, his family was there. Like as they watch him get shot. So it seems like it's not like he goes on these long business trips and is without his family for a prolonged period. Apparently the kids weren't even. What do you mean, dog? What? Everyone wanted people to feel bad because his kids, but they weren't. They were giving a fake reason to feel bad for such a terrible guy. Yeah, sure. Wait, hold up. This guy is just saying he also abused his pregnant wife. What are you talking about? Is he confusing Charlie Kirk for like Steven Crowder? There's just a veritable truckload of things that this guy did and said that are easily confirmable with a simple Google search. Doesn't make his death okay, but only people I feel actual sympathy for are his kids. These people are just making shit up just to like completely just own the chuds, just to completely desecrate on a man's grave. Oh yeah, and here's the thing. Yeah, this goes to show just how much of the like pro-Palestinian is just like, it's basically just anti-white at this point. I feel bad for the 1,000 Palestinians that have the same thing that happened to Charlie Kirk, but 10 times worse. How does it get 10 times worse than like literally dying? Like on video. One political white guy that said terrible things gets put down, and other people puts down other people's whole career and made money off of it, gets assassinated, and it gets global coverage and empathy, but an ongoing ... Okay. Murder is bad, I know. Classic Charles with a grass is green take. Oh brother, you don't know how rare that's slowly becoming. Let's see. Oh my goodness, 116 replies. You just know that's already like a whole argument going on. Yeah, the entire left is celebrating his murder. Quite an interesting predicament we're currently in. Ooh, you're calling out the left specifically, kind of hopping off that fence right there. Like the right was celebrating the death of the Minneapolis lawmakers. One, they didn't happen. I thought the majority both has agreed on this. I'm starting to think that's not true as I thought. The entire left know the small portion of people on Reddit. You never judge a group by its worst members. Nobody I know IRL is celebrating this. Well, okay, that's literally like your word. I've seen people in real life celebrating it. I'm sure you've seen people in real life celebrating it. Not to mention the people who are celebrating it online. They have their names and face attached, as I mentioned. No, not the entire left. I'm very left-leaning and this is terrifying. He didn't deserve to die. Any political violence is disheartening and saddening. The entire left isn't celebrating. So yeah, without the body even being cold, there are millions of people celebrating the death of an innocent man who literally did nothing wrong except for being an outspoken white man speaking into a microphone. And as somebody who's speaking to a microphone right now, I think we all fear for our lives. Maybe those Twitch streamers were right, saying like being a streamer is the hardest thing you can do. Except the one qualifier is that you need to be like out in public doing streams. That's the one qualifying statement because that will quite literally get you killed. But yeah, that was my reaction to this whole hullabaloo with regards to Penguin Z0, Moist Critical's take on Charlie Kirk. And just please do not let evil win. I hope you all have a good one. Peace out.